we're at the final stage of the project, which is the part I hate the most, which is sanding. Everything is dry, so there's two ways of sanding. You can hand sand, since this is a small area. I can hand sand. They got various. They got a sanding block. They got other little handheld devices for sanding, or you can just, this little area right here, you can just grab the sandpaper. They've got different grit. You got 80 grit, 120 grit. The higher the number, the more finer the sandpaper is. So the lower the number, the rougher the sandpaper. So 80 grit is more rougher than 100 grit sandpaper. So then you have what I like to use is a sanding pole. It's a device that you put the sandpaper on, and you're able to sand it, and you just go up and down. The sanding is, you want to go across the grain. You see how this runs down this way? So when I sand, I want to sand this way to go across it. That'll give me a better chance of getting a smoother, even plane, as opposed to going up and down. I mean, you can go up and down, just to knock the heavy stuff off, but when you start getting closer to the finer, I found it better to be, if you go sideways, like case in point, this area here is going this way, it goes across this way, I'm going to go up and down across against the grain, if you will. All right, so let's get started. One of the reasons I hate sanding is because of the mess. Obviously you have the dust that comes along with it. So what I've started doing over the years, I've been doing this about maybe to keep dust out of my hair, and I just take a plastic bag, a Home Depot bag, and I tie it up to put it on my head. Okay, then after I get the bag on my head, I put a hat on, something on to help hold it down, and then you primarily they have dust masks. You want to wear a dust mask when you're dealing with this, but this is such a small area, I didn't want to buy it. They only sell them in packs. I didn't want to get a whole pack of dust masks, so I'm going to take this towel, wrap it around. See how this works. Just simply stick it underneath the hat. So like I said, this is a small area. So here we go. So I'm going to use the pole. So I'm going to, what you're doing is it's simply like you're erasing. You just like you would eraser, like you're erasing the joint compound. It does take a minute to get used to using the pole. Now, when I get to the edges, I'm going to feather to make sure I'm going to feather those. I'm going to go up and down on all the edges. I'm going to go in the direction of to get this to a feathering. All right, you want to rub your hand across it. You want to make sure you want to rub your hand across it, because there's some areas you won't be able to see necessarily, but you can feel bumps and feel it being uneven. You want to be careful not to take too much off the middle, where you can see the tape come through. So you primarily want to just knock it off the middle and focus it on, make sure you get it feathered. This is how you want it at the end. You want this to smooth into nothing, where it's hardly anything there. What you want to do? All right. What you want to do after you got done with the pole sander? You want to come and make sure that take your hand and check for any pit. You won't be able to see with the naked eye right away, but your hand won't lie. So you take a sandpaper. As you can see, this is 80 grit. This is 80 grit sand. So you want to take it, you want to fold it, you want to just go into the area and see it's just falling right off. It doesn't take much. I wasn't able to get this good, so I want to take my hand and get this a little better. And get that feather, you want that feathered in better than what it is. So remember, you want it always to gradually go into nothing. Not really worried about around here too tough. I'm gonna get it a little better, but around with the inspection panel is going to cover. Once I put this on, once I get this in place, it's going to have about a 2-inch, inch and a half opening. So, all right. Okay, we went ahead and wiped everything down. The next step, the final step, is to paint. We can either do one or two things. We can either paint it, let it dry, wait for it to dry, come back, and then allow it to. Then we put the glue around, and then insert the frame. But I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a marking on the outside. So this is the outer lining of the frame. So I'm going to put the glue here, and I'm going to bring the paint in just slightly underneath it, so I can have the glue sitting. I can have the glue underneath there, and the paint could come right just underneath the frame. That way, when I put it in, it's all done. So what I want to do is just put liquid nail. We're using liquid nail. Okay, not right. This is an old tube. It's not acting right. Let's see, start afresh. You gotta be careful with the liquid nail, or mostly any type of glue you use, because once you put it on, it's permanent. So you don't want to get it on anything that you don't want it remaining on. So I'm gonna put the little glue just on the inside, around the edges. Be careful not to use too much glue and too much adhesive. It doesn't take much to hold it in place. And with most caulk guns, you have to press the button. I suggest pulling back so it won't continue to ooze out on the tip. So we got that. We got the paint that's used on the wall. Now, when any paint you get that's new or has been sitting for a while, you got to stir the paint up or shake it up because the pigmentation rests at the bottom. It's got both inside it, paint and primer. This is the top of the line paint. It's a one coat paint. But normally, I would recommend you prime this, the joint compound first, and then paint it. But since we have this paint here, we're going to go ahead and do just a one coat. So what I'm going to do, get the brush. Now, it's a new brush. So I'm going to use the can since, what you do is just take the brush, stick it inside there, and just tap the sides with it. You want to tap the sides with the paintbrush, and also turning it helps prevent the drippage. So I want to paint it. I want to just go inside the line that we drew. So we want to just go inside the line. Not worried about any decor. We just want to be inside the line. Tap the sides, roll it. We just want to be beneath the frame. Now, whatever you do, do not get any of that glue on your paintbrush. If you do that, it's pretty much ruined. So, if you're not comfortable doing this, you can always paint it, let the paint dry, come back, and then come back the next day after the paint dry, and then put the glue on and put the frame on. But I don't have that kind of time, so I'm going to do it all at once. All right, because I want the glue to sit for a while, and this is a very small area, I'm going to go ahead and finish painting this little area here with my brush. I'm going to go ahead and brush it out, and then put the frame up there. So you want the glue to kind of sit for a while so it'll hold it. So I'm going to finish painting this whole section. And then when it comes to cutting, what they call cutting and painting, you can actually put tape. You can put tape. I recommend you use tape, but this is a small area. So I'm going to cut it with my brush. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set my brush up against there to where it's close and turn it just slightly and then go straight across. So I turn it with the bristles. The bristles glide across. Just go straight across. That's how you cut. All right. And you also want to continue with the same stroke. So you want to go up and down throughout the whole, continue the same stroke pattern. Now obviously I want to go down here, I want to go sideways. Okay, here's another technique for cutting. You get your straight edge, use my trowel, and you want to get as less paint. You want as less paint on your brush as possible. And what you do is you press the straight edge against the wall, and you want to go you want to be parallel with the straight edge. So I wouldn't want to go opposite. You want to go in a direction. So I'm just barely touching And then when you take it off, you want to have a rag to dip to get any excess paint off. The rag is important because when you go to move it, the excess paint will get on the wall. So, in this case, you want to take your brush and run it against the edge to get as much paint off as possible. You don't want too much paint, because there's too much paint, the paint will drip down past the straight edge. So you want to go along with it.